So I wanted to kind of give you guys an update of what I did this week. There was an auction at a local operator's warehouse. He was liquidating everything. And since selling all my Mortal Kombats and Killer Instincts and not having anything except for this one cabinet, I've been missing them and missing stuff to do on the weekends and having projects. So I have enough room to fit one machine here and one machine here. So I went to this auction. There was really nobody there when I got there, and I just kind of picked through all the stuff and showed them what I want. But what I found was a beautiful dedicated MK2 cabinet that works great. As you can see, I got the monitors out here. I kind of went through this last night and picked through it and just kind of figured all the little things I need to buy. Not really much to buy. There's a control panel, buttons and joysticks and all that stuff with a Lexan. I already had all that from a previous project, so this is all brand new. New Lexan, new joystick, new buttons. Control panel was in mint condition. Front panel was in really, really nice shape. I got to paint the front of this here. He's still got his little decal on there. I got to get that off. The marquee looks good. I don't see any cracks in it anywhere, so hopefully that once I get that out of there, I'll clean it up a little bit and get the dust off it. But it needs T-molding. And this side over here is even better than the other one. There's really no fading at all. The other one I got was this one here, and I kind of saw it behind there. What I saw was this in the marquee was Ultracade, and I took out this computer. It's got a power cable and a kick harness, and I plugged it in, and it works. And basically, what it is like one of those 619 in one, but it's an actual licensed version of it, and it's got all different games on it. I don't have any controls hooked up to it, so I can't see all the games. But it starts out at 1941 and ends up at like, you know, Xenophobe or one of those games. But what I'm most excited about is when I picked up this cabinet, I was anticipating that this was a Mortal Kombat 2 or a Killer Instinct or a War Gods or whatever the hell, you know, with this flat front, just like MK2 and MK3, MK4. He had an MK4, which had side art, but he's asking way too much money, and I really don't like that cabinet as a conversion because of the start buttons are too close. So without getting into too much detail, I started getting into this when I got home and realized that this is actually a dedicated Mortal Kombat 3 cabinet. I've never seen one out in the wild, but as you can kind of see, there's a little purple coming through there, a little purple coming through in the wrong light there and there. And then when I opened it up, the operations manual that was in the bottom was Mortal Kombat 3. So I was like, maybe this really is one that I've actually found. The fact that it's painted black, hopefully I can preserve the artwork underneath when I try to strip it. But the control panel, as you can see, was drilled through here and here to add the extra 2 buttons. But if you move this here, you can see that it has a factory drilled run button. That's not common unless it's an MK3 or an MK4. I know this is not MK4 because the player 1 and player 2 start buttons are about this close to each other. This was drilled additionally as well. It doesn't have the metal panel that goes on the top of the control panel. I'll have to order that from a guy named Jeff that makes all that stuff on eBay. He does a really good job. XL Arcade, I think is his name. He started making all the Lexans and some other stuff as well. But I'm really excited about this because of all the cabinets I missed, I really missed the Mortal Kombat 3 because it's so hard to find. So I'm hoping that when I use the citrus strip, which I'm guessing I have in here. Yep, I got 2 bottles back there. So I'll try a little spot. I'm not going to do it this weekend, but relatively soon. And hopefully I can rejuvenate this back to its original condition because that's really, really what I wanted. I was looking at the one that was on eBay, but the guy's asking $1,500. I offered him like $1,100 and he came back at $1,450, a difference of $50. So I said, the hell with him. So I'm really happy about this. Hopefully this will turn out to be what I really wanted. But the MK2 is in really, really beautiful shape. There's a couple of little scratches, very typical of any arcade cabinet like here. They drilled through some security bolts to keep the back panel on, but I mean the sides of the panel are in near perfect condition. The side art on this side is a tiny, tiny bit faded, kind of up in the dragon area up here. Little scratch up here. But overall, very, very clean cabinet, and I'm very happy with what I got these 2 for. And then on top of it, the Ultracade computer / PCB. These sell for a good amount on eBay and on the forum, so I should be able to recuperate a little bit more than half of my investment into both of these games That way I can concentrate on buying parts that I will need to restore these. The sticker's gone, but I can have your MK Arcade Source print me up a nice one for there and inside the cabinet. But one thing that did suck is it had a padlock on it and the guy didn't have the keys, so I tried to drill it out. And when I was drilling and putting some pressure on it, it broke the whole panel that comes off the back and some of this here on the back. It's not a big deal, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to repair that at some point in time, or just leave it off and try to find another back to replace that. But all in all, pretty nice. I'll show you the inside here. The kick harness that they had here, this connects right to the board. I think it was like in this slot, one of these slots here. But I threw away the regular harness. They tapped into player 1 and player 2 and player 4 harnesses over here that is all original, which is nice. There's no other wires that are hacked up, but they did connect them directly here, which is nice. But none of these harnesses are original. Where the hell did I put it here? So there's the one that was in there. You can see the connector right there. I just don't have a need for that. So I'm just gonna throw that away, and I have plenty of harnesses in my storage containers over there. Player 2 and player 3 and player 1 harnesses for all the run buttons and up, down, low punch, high punch. But overall, in very nice condition. I'm just hoping I can get the paint off. Everything works. Monitors, both of them look pretty good, but I'm gonna bring them to my guy and have him really just kind of go through and make them look like new. I notated on here, this is the one from MK2 and this is the one from MK3. This is a Hanorex Polo. Not a huge fan of these monitors because they're tough to fix and tough to get parts for. But if you look at the screen, it's got burn-in from MK3. You can see that, which is pretty cool. The screen burn-in on this one, I'm not really sure what it's from, some game. It doesn't look like MK2, but it could be. But both of them work. They're actually not bad. But if I'm going to put these as my own personal machines, I want them to look as good as possible. And I don't have the ability to do cap kits and all that stuff. So they're really dusty, as you can see. Everything's original on, which is nice. There's no hacked up wires or, jimmy rigs and wires hanging out and capped and all that stuff. The guy that I bring them to, he takes off the chassis and the tubes, and it looks like it's brand new out of the box after it's done. I mean, I can take a rag and go like this, and you can see how much of the dust comes off there. When I get it back, it's like this everywhere. It looks like it just came out of the box. I don't know what he does to him, but I've never seen a monitor look so good. So I'm looking forward to dropping these off, and he'll have them done in 3 or 4 days, which is great. So that's about it. I probably should have made a video before I tore these apart, but honestly, I was so excited I couldn't get to them fast enough. I hadn't had games to work on in a long time. And it's kind of fun to just kind of get into it and not have to take any videos or mess around with anything. And I had some time yesterday and today to get into them. So once I get these kind of, 80–90% of the way, I'll make a video of them all fired up, and hopefully the MK3 will look as good as the MK2. Thanks for watching.